how your body and brain changes on a vegan diet. Whether you're a committed vegan for years now or you're just curious about learning more about this diet, in this video I'll be breaking down the short-term as well as the long-term effects on your body by explaining to you about what things you can expect when you transition from an omnivorous to a plant-based diet. Let's talk about the short-term first. A diet heavy in fruits, vegetables and legumes can have many health benefits. However, if you're just switching to a diet, gas and bloating are very likely right in the beginning of the transition. This is because plant-based foods are high in fiber, which can initially create a little bit of discomfort. However, as your gut microbiota is adjusting to the diet, you will reap many health benefits because of that. I will go into the topic of gas and bloating and things you can do to reduce it later on in this video, so stay tuned for that. Another benefit that you will reap right away is less of an inflammation response right after meals. This is because meat and dairy has been associated with increasing inflammation around 3 to 4 hours after the meal. And researchers even demonstrated that inflammation response also paralyzes arteries by making it harder for them to function properly. So that is probably why you feel less sluggish and more energized right after your meals, which gives your body more energy to do whatever you want to do. Furthermore, your hormone levels will regulate more naturally due to the elimination of meat and dairy, which both influenced your natural hormone levels previously. Additionally, you can expect improved blood sugar levels due to the fact that you're eating less saturated fat, and weight loss if you got weight to lose. Many studies have already demonstrated that eating especially a low-fat plant-based diet is associated with weight loss, and it is still associated with weight loss when the participants ate ad libitum, which basically means eating as much as they crave, as much as they want to, of foods that are low in fat, so they excluded oils, they excluded processed foods, and only eating nuts, seeds, vegetables, fruits, legumes, and whole grains, and they lost weight. And the good news here is it isn't just the case of you just lose weight and lose weight and lose weight until you vanish into thin air. It basically means you lose weight until you're at a healthy weight and you can maintain that weight easily by eating as much as you crave, which is a big thing when it comes to the diet industry because you don't have to go to bed hungry. You could have had your whole grain pasta with lentils and tomato soup, and for dessert you could have had some mango or some other fruit, and you can maintain the weight loss. Plant-based foods are also rich in antioxidants and phytonutrients, which can help you protect against disease and even fight infections better, which can lead to the fact that you're less likely to fall ill because of your improved immune system. And another benefit that isn't talked about a lot is healthy, regular bowel movements. Yes, you can expect to be more regular if you haven't been so far. That can take a few days to adjust, meaning going to the toilet will be I just wanted to say pleasurable experience. Will be a nice experience if you struggled before. However, something that people do expect is being more bloated and more fluctuant, especially when they increase their legume consumptions, because we all know every bean, and there's a song for that, I think. Bean, the more you eat, the more you fart? I don't know. Beans are good for your heart. The more you eat, the more you fart. The more you fart, the better you feel. So let's have beans for every meal.
Okay.
The good news here is research shows that the effects on your gut is actually diminishing over time. So you can expect to be less gassy after a while. This is because your gut has to get used to the fiber content of these specific beans. A good way to avoid being too fluctuant in the beginning, if you're reacting especially hard on these foods, is to increase the amount of beans you eat gradually. So just start out with 1 or 2 tablespoons of beans and then increase over time. That way you can kind of avoid the symptoms. However, I also have to say that it's completely healthy for a human being to fart between 10 and 20 times per day. In fact, it's actually not healthy to not fart at all. I know there has been this saying in keto that it's good to fart less because obviously you get maybe a little bit constipated if you don't eat a lot of fiber, but not farting is actually not healthy for your body. On that note, if you fart a lot and you've experienced a lot of discomfort, it's always advisable to go to a doctor if it's above that normal range, because then it can have multiple factors apart from just increasing your fiber consumption. And another thing to note is some beans have less of an effect to your gut than others, so eating things like split peas, black-eyed peas and lentils might be easier on your gut than, let's say, chickpeas. So the bottom line here is experiment with what works for you and start slow. Because the health effects of beans will be rewarding you in the end, as they're the single best food you can eat to be healthier in older age. So the perfect food for longevity. Hang in there, increase slowly your bean consumption, and you will be rewarded in the end. And on the topic of being rewarded long term, let's look at the long term benefits of a vegan diet and things you should pay attention to if you consider following this diet for a long time. First off, let's talk about artery clearing. By consuming a diet rich in whole plant foods, you're providing your body with the nutrients and minerals and fiber it needs to keep your arteries clean and healthy. That in fact can lead to a healthy blood pressure and a reduced risk of heart disease, which is currently our #1 killer in westernized society. And another thing that goes hand in hand with heart disease are your cholesterol levels, because by reducing the intake of cholesterol, and especially saturated fat that is found in animal products, you will reduce the cholesterol in your own body. And if you've been pre-type 2 diabetic or type 2 diabetic, the good news is there are many studies showing that eating a whole food plant-based diet can reduce type 2 diabetes. So hang in there and make sure to get your blood work checked regularly, because in all likelihood your doctor has to take you off insulin after some time on a vegan diet. And now for women, soy consumption like tofu, soybeans, tempeh, etc., which is very rich in a vegan diet because most people like to consume soy milk, etc., is associated with decreased menopausal symptoms. So if you're a woman and you're going through the change at some point or right now, eating more soy products and eating more plant-based will help you reduce your hot flashes and other symptoms that go along with the change. And for men, and that goes hand in hand with clearing arteries and better blood flow, is they're most likely not gonna suffer of erectile dysfunction. So you reduce the chance of having to take the blue pill. But perhaps the most surprising benefit of a whole food plant-based diet is the reduction of risk of dementia in older age. Because the reduction of plaque in your heart is also good for the reduction of plaque in your brain, which will help you keep you sharp in older age. So I love to talk about all the things a plant-based diet can do for you, but one word of warning that nobody should underestimate is B12 levels. B12 can be silently and unknowingly run you into health problems later on. So make sure, if you're serious about this vegan lifestyle, if you want to give it a shot, make sure to get a B12 supplement, or make sure to eat enough B12 fortified foods to keep your levels healthy. And the best thing is to test it regularly. Now, if you're wondering what are the symptoms of deficiency, I recently made a video about it where I also go through how much B12 you need per day, how you can get it, and how you can test it if you're unsure if you're getting enough. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.